Oh, it just smells so dank. So dank, so good. And dank and good is just what I think I need on this lovely afternoon. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like I need just something to just chill with. Just get my head fucking a little bit more calm. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Whole fucking kit and caboodle,
I think I need to pack a volcano.
as they say. Kit and caboodle.
Yeah, it's time for an attitude adjustment. And yeah, I think that means we should probably kick it off. What do you guys think?
Yeah, dude, I'm good. I'm just
I'm
putting batteries in the mod that I'm gonna use, and I'm
almost
ready. But
ready here.
I'm ready anyways.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then I think it's time to bubble. So let's get ready to get an attitude adjustment in three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shed Time podcast. I missed that intro from Anthony Ramella. I need him to cut me a new one because that was great, and I miss it dearly. But obviously, he's no longer with that company, so we can't really use it anymore. But yeah, that whole gotta be blunt with you. This show is dope. Choice. So, yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking to Anthony Ramella, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the Green Room where we did the game night with the Friday Fallout crew. I know we had a lot of fun, and pretty sure the boys did too. So, if you guys don't know about the Green Room, we know something we do every Friday night, a little live show. Go check it out. Frame Shanklin Vapor channel on the YouTube. Definitely worth checking it out. But right now, I need to check in with this mimosa that Gina put me on, and get down on it. So I'm gonna load this here, Dyna, and yeah. What's going on with you fellas?
I'm in the process of. Sorry, I'm way over here. I wasn't quite ready yet. I was getting stuff situated, and then all of a sudden we were going. So sorry, guys. I might kind of be spacey here for a second because I'm trying to get things situated. But I'm in the middle of getting a volcano bowl set up because I did some science the other day and hooked my whip attachment up to my volcano and using directly into this new little beaker setup that I got going, and it's been pretty dope. So I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done getting this set
Oh
up
yeah,
here.
we're gonna have to demonstrate that to the shed heads in the Patreon who are watching, and to our friends who are listening who want to be able to watch the show. You can head on over to Patreon, and those who pledge five and up, you get an opportunity to watch the show. So one of the cool perks over there, if you guys want to go check that on out. Um, but yeah, guys, it's been a heck of a last few weeks. We've all been like busy, finally getting settled back in, and there's been a lot of just like random stuff to the point where like I feel so unprepared for a show this week.
Oh, really? I actually feel totally good right now for some reason. I'm not gonna say that like I'm feeling 100%, but like I feel like every Sunday when we do the show, right? Like I'm normally like in a pretty decent headspace, and I know that it's still lots of day left, and I know that like it's before the week gets shit, and I'm coming fresh off of like, hopefully like a Toronto Maple Leafs win, which is actually what happened. So like for me, right, like I'm just like feeling it. I'm enjoying it. But prepared, I mean, I'm always just prepared to have a good time and a good conversation with you, dude. So I feel like we kind of always, hit that goal. So
I
It's
mean,
like
that's
always
true.
no pressure, you know.
That is true. I will say that, like, more often than not, I at least try to think of like something to steer conversation into, and I've just been so busy doing other things all week that there's just something that did not happen at all. uh, I went down a few different rabbit holes in my own personal life, and now we're coming back out the other side, getting ready to see where the white rabbit takes us. I'll tell you this much though: I dug out the heavy hitter
Nice,
because I
dude.
hadn't used this mod in a while, and I forgot how beefy this thing is.
Yeah, it is pretty beefy. If you've been like using like a more slight mod, I guess, if you will, you do notice it. But if it all depends, right? If you're using like something else, you might be like, oh, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, coming
And
off the
I
Saint
find that you get
though,
used to it quick too, though.
she's a hulker, and I forgot how much of a hulker she was. But it's kind of nice to go back. We were having a conversation earlier in the Discord about some of the like old retro gear that we've amassed that we still have kicking around. Reminiscing about brands that have come and gone, people who you just don't hear about anymore, like Hion. And
I don't think they ever really recovered from like whatever kind of like FUD they had. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I feel like there
yeah,
was like something that happened with them and they kind of just like stopped being relevant at all.
yeah,
It's some pretty nice shit though.
I don't remember what it was either, but yeah,
It
man,
was something to do with ownership. That's all I remember.
it's a crazy thing how much that stuff came and went, and like so quickly. And like there's still shops out there holding on to like retro gear that half these people don't even know what it is anymore. Like it's just so irrelevant, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, isn't that like everything though, man? So like the other day I was like thinking about it and someone was talking about building a computer and I was like, oh, my computer is like fairly recent. Like I didn't build it. I bought it like pre-made or whatever, but I got to like pick the components. And I was saying, like, oh, I have like a 3060 Ti. And they're like, oh, really? That's like a really good one. And I'm like, yeah, like why? What are you thinking about getting? And they're like, oh, I think I'm gonna get like this or that. And it was like a better version. And I was like, oh, how much does that cost? And they're like, oh, it's like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like nowhere near like what I would have kind of had to pay at the time. And I guess like I did buy it at like the peak of like this like weird time where they're like, hey, yeah, so everything's going to be really expensive. Sorry, you're just going to have to fucking deal with it. But it also made me think like what things are now irrelevant, like when I was getting my computer, there's probably stuff I could have got at a discount to some level, and now it would be like, oof, like they don't even sell it anymore. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
Technology side of things cycle out so quick, dude.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
like each quarter they come out with something new, and by the next quarter, the thing that was the hottest thing last quarter is not obsolete, but it's not the top of the line thing that everybody's going after because they're looking after the new graphics card or the new processors or the next big thing. So a lot of times if you wait till like right when they're about to drop like the new line of whatever, you can go and get last year's model for like half the price a lot of times and still get a PC that'll gonna run perfect for you for at least a good 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? It's just, do you want the top of the top or do you want to, wait a little bit, catch something on a bargain, maybe last year's model, but it's still just as decent, you know what I mean? As like if you would have spent to get the top tier, the year you were building it, sort of thing. So it's kind of worth it, just
No,
to
I
kind
mean,
of wait sometimes.
same could be said for a lot of things too, like bigger ticket items like that, cars, for example.
Yeah.
Like you always want to wait until they are getting ready to drop the next year's model because they know they got to clear out and make space on the lot. Now you can get those deep discounts and walk away with, a much newer car, let's say, for a much lower price than you would have been able to pay prior.
Yeah, like you save like yourself like $3,000 or $4,000 as opposed to, you know, getting the brand new one that might have fucking something stupid like an extra intermittent wiper speed.
Yeah, because then what happens when that relay fails and you just have on and off, right? Speaking from total experience.
Speaking
Damn
of
that
on,
relay.
dude, we're about to get this fucking whip on here.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing has like changed my volcano vaporizing like experience 100%. It's like turned it into a giant Dynavap, and I'm just taking continuous Dyna snaps until I'm through with the bowl. Because literally, I just hooked the whip up to my volcano sitting off camera here, guys, so you can't see it. But I got the whip hooked it up to the bowl. Just take this bad boy, stick it down into that down stem, nice snug fit, and then I just get my rip on. I will say I forgot to put the bowl on there while I was heating it, so it's going to take a little bit to heat. Let's see what happens with it. Oh, there we go. Put a little air through it.
I'm
Dude,
struggling over here, boys.
Tasty. Only thing is, I wish I can get just a little bit more compression.
Oh, really?
It's fun. I've been doing a lot of
Dude, either way, like that was a nice rip right there. I don't know if you guys seen the cloud that came out there. Let's go for another one here.
I've been enjoying the bong rip with the vape.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty decent.
And dude, having just
No
that little bit
doubt.
of water diffusion does like kind of help smooth it out a little bit. Because you know, sometimes taking rips out of the bag, it's still pretty warm, you know, right after a fresh fill. That it can be a little brutal.
It's all about variety, man. I think that that's like one thing I think is cool about the Dynavap. It's like ultimately, if you have a bong, right, and like you're used to smoking bongs, like there's only so many ways that you can really smoke a bong. Like you can do different ways. Like I'm not saying that there's not ways to smoke a bong, but I feel like you don't have as many options. And like that's one thing about the Dynavap that I fucking love is that you can use it with a bong. You can use it with different caps. You can use it, you know, into a bong, into whatever, like all these different things, right? And like there's attachments and all these extra things, which yes, I know you can adapt certain things for a bong, but I just find that like it just the Dynavap can do so many different things that I love it because of its versatility. Like that's like one of the things that I really like about the Dynavap is the versatility that you can get from it. But I also know that it's not going to be for everyone. So I would never tell anyone that's like, oh, you don't use a Dynavap, like you suck. Like it's not quite that extreme, but that's one of the reasons why I do love it. Like I wonder when they were designing it, like what they were like, oh yeah, like think about all the fucking ways you can use this, or do you think that like they just came up with the concept and then we're like, okay, well this fucking works. Now let's think of fucking new cool ways that we can like add on to this fucking technology that we have. Or do you think that a lot of that was like just people using it? Because like we know that like the Dynaverse, there's a lot of people that are involved in the Dynaverse that are constantly trying to like do different things, and they'll be like adding stuff or creating things for their Dynavap. Do you think that like which one do you think came first? Is basically what I'm saying. Like all the extras, or do you think that like Dynavap themselves already had a lot of these ideas and they just kind of like
No, I
weren't
think
putting them all out instantly?
I mean, I think just from what little bit we've talked with them, you know, in the past, like I really feel like it's kind of a symbiotic relationship where like they've created the device and the base technology of how a Dynavap works. And from there, the Dynaverse has kind of found new ways to innovate and expand on the idea. And through that, Dynavap in turn continues to take this inspiration from the community and build on those ideas even further. Because I mean, a great example is the bonger, right? you had people making their own little WPAs like this, and then along comes the bonger. You have, the FMJ, and then now we have the armor cap, right? So like, I think Dynavap understands that like it's gonna be a community effort, and when something really good is thought up, then it's time to collaborate, expand, improve, and make it even better. I know I actually saw somebody recently within the Dynaverse reach out to me. They're making these really awesome travel cases where they've got a spot for you to keep your Dynavap, a spot where there's your fresh herb, and a spot where you can debowl and leave your spent material.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, and I thought that was really convenient because recently I went out on a trip with a friend. I brought my Dynavap so they could experience it. And that was the one thing I didn't think about was what do I do with my spent material? And I mean, I just had this little pouch that I was carrying stuff with me, and so I just kind of like kicked it out in there, whatever, I'll, dump it out. It's no big deal. But I like that this person had thought of that because like we've seen some of the other travel cases, they got a spot for your fresh material and a place for you to maybe store your device. But I don't think I've seen too many people think about where does your spent material go? Some people want to save it. Some people just don't want to be kicking that shit out and about everywhere as they go, right? So that was good thinking. So there's always going to be some cool things I think coming out of the Dynaverse, and that excites the hell out of me because
you know what? This is the thing that I've noticed, right? And I've noticed this in other things too. And like I've noticed this in like NFT projects. I've noticed this in like hobbyist projects, like hobbyist things. Is like you get a group of like-minded individuals together, right? And not only is there the group effort of creating new things, but there's also like that little bit of competitiveness, whether it be like collecting things or just like having like the clout of like saying that you have this, or like there's probably people that are like, yo, I'm creating this thing for a Dynavap, and it instantly will get people being like, oh, well, what's this guy doing? Like, man, like how's he gonna do this or whatever, right? And then you kind of like, I don't want to say like have a pissing contest, but like sort of like a friendly one, because I find that like competition breeds innovation, right? Like people that are trying to do the same thing, it can lead to better things. And so when you have like a big group like the Dynaverse, and like there's all these people, and like I could see one idea and I might take that idea and not copy it, but I might utilize something that they've gone through or they've done to then make an advancement, right? And it might not be better, but in my opinion, it might be. And it all depends on how well I can execute it. But I might not have came up with that idea if I didn't see that first idea, right? And I think that that's like when you have big communities of things, it's always awesome because it really does. It breeds people's creativity, and it also just like has other people that are like-minded that can help push those ideas. Because like I might have an idea but not have the ability to get it all done, where Sean might have the ability to get it done, but he's lacking some ideas. Like, you know what I mean? Just for example, like obviously Sean's brilliant, so like that's not going to be the scenario right now. But I'm just saying, overall, and I think that that's like one of those things that you get with the Dynaverse. I need to spend more time in there just so maybe I can get my creative juices flowing of like thinking about like how I could elevate my experience with the Dynavap, or like maybe make some suggestions to people that can get shit done. Because after all, like I've established pretty well that I'm an idea person, not a doer person. I just need to like inspire some people that have the ability to get shit done. That's what I need to do. Spoon feed them it. Here, take my idea. I think it's gonna work. You make sure that it does, but have a look see.
I have this brilliant idea. You should do something with it. Have fun.
You should steal it, but then just remember me, not with the checkbook, but at least let me help you test it. And yeah, you can throw me a little bit of something,
I mean, I know there's a content creator
paper.
that I follow who does something like that, where he's like, here's an idea, steal it. and he'll give you just like a quick 30-second rundown of just a simple, easy business that you could quickly execute on your own. And it's like, dude, I love that there are people who do things like that because, some people just, that's what they need. They just need a quick little bit of inspiration. And sometimes that's all it takes. Somebody be like, hey, here, you could do this. It's like, shit, I didn't know I could do that. Let's go.
Yeah, like they need something to run with, right? And I think that that's like what's because there are people out there that are doers, man, and they're just not thinkers. Like, not to say that they're stupid, it's just that they don't think of the things that they can do until like they're put on their plate, right? It's like some people can just get like a lump of plasticine dropped in front of them and they know what they want to make. When others might have a lump of plasticine and they see something that somebody else is doing, they're like, oh, this person's making a skateboard. It's like, I'm going to make, a surfer on a wave. But they wouldn't have come to that surfer on a wave without seeing somebody do a skateboard. It's like just that kind of a thing, right? It's not like you're like I'm going to make a better surfer on a wave than you made a skateboard. It's just that you wouldn't even have thought of it if you didn't see the person doing the skateboard kind of shit.
I just decided to go look into the Dynaverse because there's a Dynavap Reddit. And we all know the rabbit hole Reddit can be.
Yeah, Reddit's crazy, man. Subreddits.
And shout out to this person going ham with the Vong and a bonger inside this one bong. Got the whip attachment going.
Holy fuck.
Dude, this person's about to get fucking litty titty ripping this sucker.
Just chilling in their backyard in like a subdivision.
Like what a great way to spend your afternoon. Like, we're just gonna do some Dyna snaps out back. No big deal. Let's get it. It's oh.
There's some crazy shit in there, dude.
Yo, yeah. Like this person who's got some sort of glass straw with a couple of pills going on inside.
Oh, that's
dude.
crazy. Dude, there's like so many little things that people, and see, that's the thing, right? Like you might even have the things at home in order to make what that person just showed. Like just by chance.
I just found a person who decided to make a Dynavap gravity bong for science.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it. Why not elevate it? Make it a better experience. That's another cool thing, right? Is like,
dude, I could totally do that with this volcano, bro. Hook this whip up to the top of a bottle and fucking.
Yeah, you could.
Oh shit, boys! We might have an experiment next week.
Grav lab. It's your own personal grav lab right there.
I almost bought one of those. You know which ones I'm talking about, right, Sean?
The glass one.
Yeah, where it's like a glass fucking bottle. I was looking because when I bought this, they had one at the shop. I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool, but that's also a lot.
Yo, all right. Shout out to this person. I like this idea. Got the FMJ and he got a little rig so that his torch is pointed right on the spot. It's all hands free.
Dude, that is fucking sick.
That's my kind of ingenuity right there. Shout out to this person.
I love his caption too. I made a thing.
Like, do you think that it spins? That'd be so crazy if it's
no. It doesn't have to. He's got an FMJ on it.
Oh, got you. But still, for everybody that doesn't have one, I mean, I would.
The way
I just put my shit in and not have to, because like I don't hate the induction heater. I just haven't used it in a year. I just don't prefer it. I prefer the thing. But I also have my spin down pretty well, so like I guess it's not really that big of a deal. But if you think about it, for people that don't have their spin down, I've seen people, they'll like have their finger all wobbed out and they're like trying to fucking go in there, not even really spinning it, and then they're like, oh, I think I combusted it. So it's like foolproofing things that people are intimidated by. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people, when they see me like use a Dynavap, like in real life, they'll be like, yo, like you can like spin that pretty good. It's like, well, what happens if you don't spin it? And like they all like get concerned that it's like this like crazy complex thing, when ultimately I'm like, yo, I'm putting weed in here I then spin it in my fingers, and when it clicks twice, I hit it. When it clicks twice, it's ready to get heated up again. It's like very simple to me, right? But other people find it more complex for some reason. Like,
Well,
yeah,
it'd be
they'll have no
intimidating for
issues.
someone
Like,
who's never used one before, dude.
yeah, but if they're watching me do it, right? Like, it's like I couldn't
Just think
watch
about
somebody and roll a joint the first
think
time
about
and
the
then roll a
first
good
time
joint.
you used it, Chris. You almost fucking burnt the fuck out of yourself.
Well, I was also already high, and the person that passed it to me backwards. Like,
Either
to be
way,
fair,
dude. But you
To
know
be
what I'm
fair.
saying? That's how much you knew about it. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When
but if
someone
you're
first passed
watching
it to you.
somebody use it, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was like showing you a lesson on how to do it, like, it's not that much more complex than rolling a joint. Because like, if you never
Well, here's
watched
the
anybody
thing,
roll a
dude. There's
joint,
still people that don't know how to roll a joint and have watched people do it 1,000 times, bro.
yeah, but you have to try it at least. Oops.
I
You have
know
to try it.
somebody off
I
top
understand
that
what you're
I've shown
saying.
multiple
Nothing is
times.
super simple, but like what I think that I'm ultimately saying is like I personally don't think a Dynavap's that complex.
I
But
totally
for some
get it, bro. I
people
don't either,
think it's too
obviously.
complex. Like,
Well,
it's
I mean,
crazy to me.
it's the same argument that we're familiar with when we advocate for like, nicotine vaping, right? It's like nothing's
people just want a
easier than lighting a
disposable.
cigarette.
I'd
All
actually
right.
disagree with that now. With like the disposables, bro, it's literally that's easier than a cigarette. Like, you only have to open one package and only have one thing. It's called that vape. Cigarettes, you at least need a lighter.
It's called that vape.
No, I mean you are right about that though, because it's like 1, 2, 5, 15, and then it's
Fuck it.
immediately done. I don't have to put anything out. I don't need an
No,
ashtray.
you don't have to fucking worry about littering. You don't have to worry about shit. You just fucking hop it in your pocket.
I don't have to open another box, take
You
another
don't
cigarette out
stink.
and light it because my disposable is ready to use immediately.
It's easier to
Yeah.
hide from your wife when you tell her you quit smoking. You know what I mean? Because you don't smell like a cigarette. You just smell like fucking Fruit Loops.
Yeah, or anything, man. Like in the rain,
Yeah.
you're just like running out in the rain. You could just be like fucking just chief on it real quick a couple times.
And
Like,
vape it in your car, not worry about your car smelling like fucking stogies.
yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of ease of use. But I guess like when we all started, it wasn't
Yeah,
that simple.
I just wanted to put some of those more, positive aspects on the vaping thing, just in case somebody's listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's
Yeah,
definitely a better
obviously
alternative. Is
everything
all I'm
is for
saying. You know
adults
what I
that we
mean?
talk about here, but like,
Yeah.
these are like
well,
these aren't
not only
tricks.
that, but like this is a fact for vaping in general. Whether it's the dry herb, whether it's tobacco, is like it's genuinely better for your overall lung health.
100% health.
Like at the end of the day, like if you were to stop combusting all of your inhaled products and committed to vaporizing them completely, you would 100% have a better lung health. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're not supposed to inhale smoke. Like I used to say it to people in the vape shop all the time, like you wouldn't in your right mind burn the leaves in your backyard and just stand over the smoke and be like, oh, that's delicious. That's great.
Dude, campfire smoke is the worst, bro.
Right? Like
It's the
you
worst.
you wouldn't in your right mind do that. But we put some dead leaves
Dude, and
inside a piece of paper and put a fucking fiberglass filter in front of it, and we'll do it 20 times a day.
You know what another bad thing about campfires is like as enjoyable as it is to like kind of sit around with your buddies, and like enjoy it like for that time, like you smell like campfire
Oh yeah,
all next day, bro.
Oh,
Whatever
yeah.
clothes you were wearing that day, and if you don't shower, you smell like a fucking campfire, bro.
That's the best part.
I actually hate that. I hate when you get in
Yeah.
the shower. Like if you're camping for the weekend, the
Yeah,
first
and then
time
you
you get in the
start
shower, you don't really
because
notice
it
it.
ignites it again, bro. And
Yeah,
then you're
and
like,
then it's like you get in
oh.
there and you could just feel like the water and all the smoke kind of just like going on you.
And then you're
like,
watching the water come down, and it's kind of like dark a little bit because like all the soot that's like kind of just settled on you.
But I do
love camping, bro.
Yeah,
I
I love
fucking
camping. I love
dude.
campfires.
I want to go so bad. One of these weekends, I'm gonna try to see if I can just fucking take out. I might even just go by myself, maybe somewhere.
Nothing
You
wrong
know
with
what?
that.
That's like one of those things I wish I could do, but I really can't. I can be at home alone. Like I've lived alone for a long time, so like that's not an issue for me. But like just the camping part, I think that I could go to
Because
like
it's
a
not
cabin.
it's not like I'm gonna go out and like go do shit. I'm just like go out to a campsite, set up a tent, and just like chill at the campsite. You know what I mean? I'm not like gonna go out and, like do like anything that's where I could get injured and like be like, oh fuck, I'm by
Yeah, oh,
myself.
I'm not concerned about getting injured. Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
like I ain't gonna be all
I just
fucking
go out there, just
hiking all day.
take my fucking one of my like my beater acoustics out there, maybe,
Take the fishing pole, some
maybe,
tackle,
yeah.
you know, just go fishing, jam out, enjoy the fire, cook some hot dogs on a stick.
Let's go for like the weekend.
Spider
you know what I
dogs?
mean? Go leave like Friday night, come back like Sunday morning or like Sunday afternoon.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I used to know a dude that did that shit.
I might
when
try to talk my dad into going one of these weeks. I know him and my mom are actually going on a little trip this upcoming week, but
Oh, in the motorhome?
yeah,
Where do they park that when they're not using it?
driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know
it's
like,
not
they
it's not
park it
like
somewhere.
enormous. You
No,
know,
I know, but it's still like
it's
got to be 20 feet or something.
I'm not sure. But yeah, like we've got a pretty decent sized driveway, and like we've got it parked all the way to the side. Like I still have my car parked in the driveway. My parents have their car in the driveway, so you know.
Oh, okay. So it's not eating up all the space.
Nah, dude. But dude, it's cool for them, you know, and it's perfect for them, you know. Like eventually, I'm sure they'll probably want to upgrade. Because dude, my brother and sister in law, their trailer is pretty sick. It's not obviously it's not like an RV, so they have to have a pretty nice truck. My brother's got a dope ass truck. But that's besides the point. But dude, their trailer's sick, dude. They got like 2 bunk beds in the back for the kids. Like a nice fucking queen size bed for themselves, like pretty dope size little like dining and like cooking space. Pretty sick.
RVs are dope. I know. I when I was a kid, my grandparents had a like one of those like 25, 30 foot long camping trailers, and we did a trip from California out to like Colorado and back. And so we towed that thing the whole way, made stops at like different KOA campgrounds and stuff for like the night.
Yeah.
And like it was definitely a cool experience in a unique way.
It's a cool way to see the fucking country, dude.
Yeah, like, you know.
The cool thing about the RV though is being able to roam about the fucking cabin as you're like so like
I
hey,
bet.
you know, I'm fucking hungry, man. Can you make me a sandwich? You know what I mean? So whoever's driving will be driving, someone will be making them a sandwich or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh no, dude, that is actually pretty cool. I remember like as a kid,
And my
right,
dad's
like,
one of
we
those
went on
guys
them.
where if he don't have to stop, bro, he'll just keep driving.
Well, why stop? Like you're
Yeah.
going somewhere, right? Like a lot of people.
So it's kind
like
of cool
I
for my
understand, you
mom.
know, there's always people that say about like where you're going, but it's like the trip getting there, and I get that part. So like maybe like you know you have one way where you kind of like rush it, and then on your way home you take a little bit extra time, or vice versa, whatever, however you want to do it. But yeah, I remember like as a kid, like we would take our motorhomes. We went to Florida a couple times. We would go do like the whole east coast of Canada. So we would like leave here. We'd go to like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, all that shit. Like do like touring all out like the coastline, stay in like all sorts of campgrounds where we'd like ride our bikes. Because you know the motorhome was like equipped to have like a bike racks on the back. We'd like ride our bikes from the campground into like the town, go get ice cream, whatever, all that kind of shit. And it was always a lot of fun. I always loved camping as a kid, but like I guess like ultimately that's like kind of glamping. Like, dude, I had a Nintendo in there. Like I had a Nintendo and like this like 9 or 10 inch like black and white TV. And so I would literally be playing like you know, Super Mario Brothers or whatever, like the whole way down. Like just kicking it or playing like Mario Golf, whatever it was, like with my brother, Mega Man, all sorts of shit. Just like driving 24 hours to Florida, just like rocking Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
It was amazing, bro. On this black and white TV.
When we were kids, we didn't have like an RV or nothing, but we used to take road trips back to Indiana like for the summer every now and then. And but we always had like a pretty decent sized van. You know what I mean? So like we went when I was real little and we had like I forgot what kind of van it was, dude, but it had like a captain's chair like in the back that like fucking swiveled and shit. And then on the side, it had like some cabinets with like a fucking TV and like a bench seat in the back or whatever. And we fucking took that out one year and we were fucking watching all kinds of kids' movies and stuff on that. And then as we got older, we got this other van. I think it was like a Safari or some shit. And it had like 2 fucking TVs in the back, like one for one row of the seats and one for the other row. And it had 2 captain's chairs and then like a bench seat in the back. But it had RGB plugins. So you could plug in any game system or whatever in the back. So we took a road trip. We took our PS2 and our Xbox and we're sitting there playing like Halo and shit. Just fucking driving. No, well, I couldn't smoke at the time, but that would have been sick though. Getting all stoned with the homies on a fucking road trip, playing fucking whatever in the back.
Yeah, of course, that'd be amazing.
But no, dude, we used to like fucking. We left the Xbox in the van for a while, so like on the way to school, sometimes we'd fucking turn it on and try to get a quick round of whatever, and before like we got to school and shit.
Let's just get to the fucking parking lot early. We can try to get around it.
Field trips with the homies in like junior high and stuff, bro. With my dad driving, we'd all be sitting back there playing like Halo and stuff. And fucking, dude, those were the fucking times, dude. We used to do all kinds of crazy shit.
That's dope. That's dope.
Those times where you'd write signs on paper and like stick them up in the window. You know what I mean? And like see if people would like fucking react to them.
We did that shit on the school buses for field trips, but not in our family cars.
Oh yeah, my dad and I didn't give a fuck. Like,
dude, I remember like when we used to come back like from snowboarding because we would go every weekend, right? And there'd always just be like you and like a bunch of your homies. So like, especially once we all got our licenses, or a few of us got our licenses, and we would like take our parents' car and we'd go up there. Like we would just get on our way home, dude, and there'd be like ski bunnies and like cars like as you're driving back, because like where we would drive from, there'd be like. I think like at least three ski resorts would kind of be like within a 15-minute period, but you kind of all meet at this one point on the highway heading back towards Toronto. And dude, we'd be like rolling up and we'd be like, show us your tits. And they'll be like, really, you know what I mean? And like, it actually would work sometimes. It's fucking hilarious as that is, you know, it's like a bunch of 16, 17-year-old dudes like in a fucking minivan, like pulling up beside chicks and stuff.
That's fucking how it is at the NASCAR parking lot right now.
Yeah, no, that's actually very true. I feel like every day is Mardi Gras in some places, you know. There's just not always beads. There's just not always the amount. It
depends on the amount of alcohol in the situation.
Dude, that actually reminds me. I remember we used to like go to my friend's cottage all the time, and they were on like a pretty busy section of like the Trent Severn Waterway, which is like the waterway that brings you from like all the way up beyond me. It's like goes from Georgian Bay all the way down to basically Lake Ontario, and then you can get out to the ocean. So you can actually get all the way in, like hours and hours into the interior of Canada through this. And so they lived, or their cottage was like right on this like thoroughfare, like from one lock to another lock. So there would be just mad traffic, and especially on long weekends, there'd be so many people. And people would kind of like come in closer to the shore and be like touring as like people were ripping behind the main channel. And this people would come by. And if we ever like saw like a boat of women, we would just be like screaming like show us your tits. And I'm sorry for anybody like that. This is offensive, I guess, you know, but in all fairness, like I was always probably so drunk and all my friends were, and we would probably be like 20 years old. And dude, I remember one time we were just like kicking it, and there's like this like a bow rider boat came. And there's probably like 10 people up on their boathouse. We're all just like drinking all day. It's probably like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Like everybody's like pretty cut. And like this boat comes up with like 9 girls on it. And dude, like nobody said shit. And just every one of the girls just like lifted their bikini tops. We were just like, what the fuck? Like we're always trying to get this to happen, and nobody was fucking ready for this.
Winning!
And this is actually like in the era of like we could have actually had our cell phones out and taken a picture, because this probably was like in 2004, 2005, and like I had a camera that could take pictures in 2004 and 2005.
It would have been 1.5 megapixels, so it looked
that.
like it was taken with a potato. But hey, no big deal. You would have been like, I know those were boobs. And that's all that matters.
It's like I swear that's areola right there. Look. The slightest color change. The slightest color change.
Dude, there's a spot like that we used to go to growing up as a kid. We used to go to Havasu, Lake Havasu, Arizona, and the spot London Bridge during the holidays is one of those spots, dude, to where like, it's almost like Mardi Gras where there'd be beads involved and that sort of situation. And my mom didn't like us going down that way when we were kids, but one time we got to go, man. And I got to witness it as a kid. My mom was not happy about it, but man, was my dad fucking all about it, dude. It was so funny. It was so funny. Like
it's a party.
yeah, dude. All the parents were just like, because like the group of friends that I went with, like their parents were kind of like more of like the party crew. You know what I mean? They like to do things up and stuff like that. My parents were, they were hip, but not quite that hip. You know what I mean? They weren't. My mom was definitely a little bit more reserved for sure.
Yeah.
So like that was not like her vibe at all. But dude, it's just one of those memories that sticks out in my head because I just remember my mom's face like as we're going through there, and I'm just sitting there like I didn't get to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because my mom was on the boat. You know what I mean? So it's like I couldn't sit there and get all riled up because I knew if I did, my mom would be pissed. So I had to sit there and
James's mom's probably like coming behind him, like doing one of these,
or just
dragging her hands over his face,
or just staring me down, making sure I'm not looking. So it's just like all my friends are making fun of me because I'm not looking, but I know if I look, I'm gonna get my fucking ass whooped by my mom later.
Worth it.
But dude, it was one of those awkward situations where it's like I'm trying to just like side eye it, so it's like I'm not looking, so my mom can't like get mad at me, but I want to look too. So it's just like, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm seeing it, but I can't look.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but I can't get excited. Damn it.
See, we had I know I told you guys about like the crazy shit that would go on during 3rd of July when I was a kid and we lived in that beach community. But like the rival community, if you will, that we built the bonfire against Whitehorse, that was them. They were that kind of a end of town with the beach houses with just like all the rowdy drunk people and
Partying it up.
yeah, dude. Though that was the fun spot. Like when I got old enough that I could just, venture out on my own, me and my friends would all go down there and it'd just be like, blatant people drinking in the streets, smoking weed, people doing fucking, lewd and lascivious acts. Good times, good times. So
there's always that one spot,
Yep. It's funny because like as much as that area when you're there any other time of the year is just this beautiful idyllic little beach community.
That's the thing is like I used to just love going there just to like be like because we used to go cove camping, so like we'd fucking load up the boat with all of our camping equipment, cruise the fucking the river for a little bit, and then like go up towards the shore and find a nice sized fucking cove, fucking unload our stuff, and then eventually like the park rangers would come by, and then we'd pay whatever fee for the cove for the weekend. We pitch our tents, put up our barbecues and all that shit, dock the boats up, hang out on the fucking cove for that portion of the day after setting things up, and then the rest of the week go out on the water, go wakeboarding or tubing or fucking fishing or fucking just be swimming in the fucking river, hanging out on the fucking beach, just doing like the whole river thing. And then eventually we'd do runs to like the cliffs that we used to go diving off of, or we'd take a run across the river to the fucking cafe to get breakfast in the morning, or run down to the other end of the river to the nice restaurant they had down there to go have dinner for the night, you know what I mean? And like, dude, just fucking doing the whole river shit, dude. It was the life, bro. Spent more time in the fucking water than anything.
That's like the one thing.
As a kid, dude, it was the shit, bro. Like I couldn't only imagine how fun it was for our parents too, because like at that time, like they didn't really. We would just be out in the water doing whatever, so they'd just be able to kick back and just fucking chill, have some fucking drinks. You know what I mean? They'd fucking go out and just fucking float in the water with fucking their beers or margaritas or whatever they're fucking mixing up on the beach, where all us kids were just fucking splashing around doing whatever. Dude, good times, bro.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like that's like one of those things that I always loved as a kid, going to somebody's like lake house, as I think you guys would call it. Like up here we would just call it a cottage, but you'd like go up to somebody's like cottage lake house and like you just like that'd be the vibe, man. I remember shout out to like my childhood friend. His name was Robbie Butler, and his grandparents, like, I don't know if his grandparents owned the whole island or something. I don't know, but it was like this like pretty big fucking island in Georgia Bay, which is like this like really, really big lake. It's like you look at the map and it's a fucking massive lake. And when you're out in it, dude, like it was like fucking waves could be like 3-4 feet high. Like it was a mission to get out there. But once you got out there, like they just own this whole island. And it was amazing, dude. Like I remember going there for like at least 2 weeks one summer. And like, dude, we were just like going swimming every day nonstop, going in boat rides, like going tubing, going on like boat rides to like marinas, playing in these massive fucking arcades, like having like campfires with cookouts at night. Like I was a kid.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like
dude.
10, 12 years old. Like I wasn't like I was partying.
Dude, you reminded me there. We used to go to this fucking ice cream shop every now and then. That was down like on at one of the marinas on one end of the river. We fucking cruise down there, go get ice cream, and they had an arcade back there. We go fucking game on and shit. Dude, you're bringing back fucking memories, bro.
Dude, summers were honestly so good.
Dude,
like I still love
they were
summers, don't
fucking
get me
great,
wrong.
dude.
But it's like when you're a kid, right, and you're in school.
There's nothing better than a summer as a
What's
kid.
better?
Bro. There's nothing
What's
better.
better?
There's nothing.
It's like you're not in school, but you're also not at home. Where lots of people would, I'd be like, yo, when I'm at home, I'm gonna have to clean my room. I'm gonna have to do my chores. I'm gonna have to do this, do that, and also I'm always there.
Yeah.
So when I'm on vacation, like whatever it is, dude, I didn't care. If we were going to some city and stayed in a fucking hotel, like we used to go to Cleveland every year. I think I mentioned this to you guys before. We go to Cleveland for like Blue Jays games, and I think it was like 3 or 4 years in a row on Labor Day weekend. The Blue Jays would play in Cleveland. And so we would go and we'd go back to school shopping because like buying shit in America was always cheaper, but also buying tickets for an Indians game, or I guess the Guardians now, was like way cheaper than getting them at the Sky Dome, because the Sky Dome was still like brand new at the time. Because like the Sky Dome I think opened in 1989, so when I was 9, and it was always so fucking packed, and the Blue Jays were super, super good, and it was crazy expensive. And for a family of 5, it was like hard. So my parents were like, oh, we'll just go to Cleveland. And they'd end up spending around the same amount of money with hotel and all that shit. And we go to like 2-3 games. We go like, back to school shopping. We would go to like eat at some restaurants that we wouldn't have here, like a TGI Fridays or whatever fucking shit. And it was fucking awesome. Dude, I would always like save up money and buy Commodore 64 games when we went. Because it was probably like 1990, 91, and like not everybody had a Nintendo, and we still had like a Commodore 64. And dude, I could go there and I could get like 101 games for $23.99, and I'd be like, yo, fucking saving all my paper money up, and I'd fucking buy like that 101 game disc. Like 90 of them would be trash, but you'd have like 11 that you could like actually play. And it was fucking awesome, dude. I loved it.
Oh man. It's funny because like a lot of those Commodore games later got adapted for like the early PC stuff. And so like those are some of those games were the games I remember playing as a young kid, like on early PCs, like in the classroom and even like at home. Because in my house, my father was an early PC adopter.
Okay.
And like I remember running Windows 3.1 when there really wasn't much you could do in Windows. Like,
yeah, I don't remember when we got a computer. I remember it was some sort of Macintosh.
Like some young people may not even remember a time when like you would turn on a computer and it would just be the DOS prompt. And you actually had to tell it to start running Windows.
Dude, just to get like a Commodore 64 to run, like there would actually be like you'd be typing in code to get it to fucking run. Like it wasn't like you press fucking power, turns on, it's just like boom, it's like Capcom, fucking whatever. Nah, it was definitely not like that. You'd be like // run, blah blah blah, and then like you go. And my brother, who is older, right? He was 5 years older than me, so he found out all these things that he would write it down on every floppy. So it would say like, the fucking run prompts, I guess, in order for like every game, and not everything was the same. And I'd be like reading it, and like you put it in and you have to pop it out.
You said floppy, and that reminds me of a story. I was training a new guy at work the other day on the on my machine before I went on vacation to Will's, and I was going through the computer screen and like showing him how to like save profiles and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, so if you ever make a change to a profile, you want to make sure that it's saved. So the next time you go and click it, it's the same thing. You go over here and you click this floppy disk, and then that saves the fucking profile. And he's like, okay, what's a floppy disk?
Oh God.
I looked at him, I was like, wait, how old are you? He's like 19. I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
It's like, an SD card, it used to be way bigger, bro.
Yeah,
And it
I was
held
like,
way less shit on it.
and I tried to explain it to him. I was like, it's what we used to use before CDs, bro. He's like, oh, for real? I was
He's
like,
like,
yeah.
CDs, what? He's like,
Yeah.
how old are you, bro?
I was tripping, bro. It made me feel old.
Yo, like I
Well,
remember
to
the
be fair,
big.
like in the tech world, you are kind of old.
What's it like? Like we're all of the age. Like we can all remember the big
Well, I
5-inch
forget.
floppy.
I tend to
Yeah.
forget I'm in my 30s now, Chris. You know what I mean? That's part of the problem too. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
well, fair. It's still fresh. I mean, it's still fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, my
But Sean, so there was like the really floppy ones that you could actually see the film in.
yep.
And then there was like the smaller ones that were like hard
That was-
plastic.
that
That's
was
a
the
floppy too, right?
Yeah, that was a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was two different sizes.
Yeah,
I
the
was
3.5
more- I was
held a
more
little
fond
more
with-
data.
I was
Yeah,
more
yeah.
I was more familiar with the smaller ones, I think.
Yeah, for sure
That
you
was
would
like
be.
the
And
I
that's
think that was
that's
kinda
That's
the,
what like
the real
computers
life
like
save icon.
when computers really started, like PC computers, like when you had like a Pentium 1, it had like the smaller floppy,
Mhm.
like the 3.5. But like a Commodore 64 had like the big square with like
The
the
big
fucking
5-inch.
big hole in the middle,
Yep.
and you could see like the film on it and shit. And it was like legitimately floppy. Like you could like torque
Yeah,
it.
mine was the
pretty
one that
good.
had like the metal like sleeve thing on it
Yeah,
that
you
would
could
like
slide
kind of
across.
slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That was like the next step, which
Yeah.
honestly, like I remember that too when I was like 10. Like that was when I was like a kid too. I just did because my first experience with like a computer was a Commodore 64. Like a lot of my memory goes back to what that looked
Yeah.
like.
yeah, like the Commander Keen series of games from the Commodore. Though I remember playing those as a kid, but they were adapted for early PC. And it's funny because like I will sometimes even now that you can play a lot of these games online. So like
Yeah,
you can
there's
go
tons
play
of
like
emulators.
right. Well, like you don't even need to download emulators for
Dude,
games
I just want
that
to play
simple.
some Galaga right now.
So like you could literally just play online retro games and pull up like old Commodore games, shit like that, and play them in your browser.
Were you guys down with Galaga? Galaga was the shit.
Galaga was
Yeah, I
dope.
remember playing that a lot. Like, that'd be like at that like mom and pop restaurant where they had like the sit down table. You could play opposite like your homie.
And they had like the Pac-Man
turns,
and
yeah. 1946.
dude,
would be
those
another
tables
one.
are
Or
dope.
no,
bro.
1942. Was it 1942? 1942. It was like you're in a plane and you're like shooting shit down. It was
Yes.
much like Galaga,
Yeah,
but it was like planes,
I think
horror
so.
kind of.
Yeah.
And I think 1942 is correct because it was supposed to be a World War II theme.
Yeah.
All right, I want to take a dab, guys, but I've got too many choices once again. Oh, this is always my problem. I think I just need to narrow it down sometimes and just like get like maybe 2 strains and maybe just grab like 2, you know what I mean? Instead of grabbing like 5 different ones because the choices make it hard.
You just need to close your eyes and just put your hand on one.
But see, that's the thing, bro, because there's some sativa in here, and I don't necessarily want a sativa dab at the moment.
I don't blame you.
I'll just take those ones out of there. These ones I need to save because they're coming on pretty hard on those. Let's just go with one of these ones that's not open.
A little new.
Left or right?
Right.
Yeah, be polite. Choose the right.
Gelato 41 it is.
Ooh.
Shout outs to CES. I love their packaging before I completely open it. It's got like this
Uh,
kind of like oozy paper on it. Or
I like that.
plastic
It's like
on it.
all drippy.
Yeah. And then you open it up and it's got this dope like fucking brain on top.
Dude, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. All right.
take it straight to the dome.
Put the goods back in the thing over here. This is the one thing I kind of hate that I haven't been on top of lately, is I haven't been making sure I've got a clean set of pearls and stuff ready for the old turquoise. I got to go through the whole process of getting a clean set before every dab, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, because that means I'm just gonna have a nice clean set of pearls and stuff before each dab. But it also means it takes longer before I get to take a dab, you know?
Well, maybe sometimes you just need that extra little bit of time. Maybe you're like undecided sometimes. It's like, oh, what strain am I going to dab right now? And like cleaning it up, you're like, yo, by the end of it, you're like, yeah, no, I want that one.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I will tell you though, Sean, that one I didn't pick, but I took it out of the lineup just because I've been going ham on it. Is it's this Runts It Up.
Oh, you're
Dude.
liking it?
It is some of the tastiest concentrate I've had in a long time. It's a nice cold cure rosin. Dude, it is so good. And that cookie dough is actually really delicious too, by the same company. It's got like that very light, creamy complexion to it, you know? And dude, they're both super tasty. But that Runts It Up is like crazy, like fruity. Like it tastes like I've got a mouthful of runts, pretty much. It's good stuff.
I love it. I live for that. That's some shit that I enjoy. I live for that, and I live for the danky garlicky goodness. Give me the garlic. I need all the garlic.
Oh yeah, I had some garlic cookies in there too, but
Dude, I'm at the point now where like if I have a strain that tastes good, and it gets me to where I want to be, that's fantastic. But if I can have something that tastes fine, but it gets me exactly where I want to be, I'll probably choose that like 9 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? Like I love flavor. I'm not gonna like, use something that's like really poor tasting to me just because it like gets me to the perfect high. But I'm also not gonna not use that. It just might not be exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I just need GMO back, boys. Like I'm gonna have to like go on like an actual vicious hunt just to get it. I have something though that's supposed to be not that far off, but I can't remember what it was. I don't even remember where I fucking put it.
oh.
It's somewhere here. It's somewhere here. It's somewhere here. I've just like went through back-to-back carts and like I'm almost done this cart and like I'm really missing my Dynavap, but I just like I'm at the point now where I'm like I might as well just finish this fucking cardo because I don't want to just like let it sit for like a couple weeks because then I'm just basically wasting it. So that's like where I'm at. I'm very close to the end. Like I'm there. Like I'll probably be done by like tomorrow night, maybe by like Tuesday.
Is this a different flavor?
What's that?
Is this a different flavor?
No, dude, it's the same one. I liked it so much that I got it again. And this is the second one, and like I have no regrets. The only thing I regret is that I should have not opened it until I like was further removed from the other one. So I could just go through it quicker. You know what I'm saying? Or like something. I don't know. Just so like I could mix it up. Because I do miss my Dynavap. But like I said, I don't want to. I guess really, what's the problem? I could the Dynavap once. It's not really going to prolong it that much.
Dynavap and
tonight I'm hitting the Dynavap,
and then rip a Dynavap again, and then rip that again, and then be flying higher than giraffe's ass.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. This has like nothing to do with anything we've talked about at all. It does have to do with food. If you guys are like at a fair or like somewhere where they have like all the food trucks or like the little carts where you can, they have like cotton candy machines or like candy apples and shit like that. Do you ever get hot nuts? Have you ever known anyone that gets hot nuts? Because like that's a thing. They'll be like hot nuts here, and like you can get that even at like a baseball game or something. So you guys have got that before?
No,
I have.
Okay, I have never either. So Sean, I have a question for you. Like, what are the nuts? Is it like a standard kind of hot nut mix,
It
or
depends
do you get
on
to choose?
it depends on where you go. But like the times I've done it, it's usually when I go to the Renaissance fair with my wife,
Okay.
and I'll usually get. There's usually a choice between cashews or almonds. I'll usually grab cashews, and they're like a sweet roasted cashew. So you have like a sort of like a cinnamon sugar, maybe brown sugar glaze that's been that they've been roasted with.
Almost like a honey roasted.
Yeah, it's like having like a warm honey roasted cashew, basically, and it's delicious. So like,
It sounds good.
and
But I'm
like
not into cashews. For
in a
some reason.
situation like
I don't
that,
like cashews for some reason. I don't know why, but it just
Really?
yeah.
Because you like salty things, though, right?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
fucking almonds. I like peanuts. I like pistachios, but I don't like walnuts. I'm not a big fan of like pecans are okay. I'm not like crazy on them. But yeah, I don't really like cashews. Not a huge fan of macadamia nuts really
Yeah, me
either.
neither. I have a lot of similarities with and like the nut preferences that you have. Honestly, like I like peanuts, I like almonds. I'm not a huge fan of macadamia nuts. But I do love cashews.
Cheers.
Like cashews, there's something about them. Like they
Yeah.
have to be salted. I don't like them, and I don't like them fancied up. I just like straight up salted fucking cashews. Like that's just it. Just give me some
see,
salted cashews.
I like them. I like them plain. I like them salted. I like them honey roasted. Like
I don't know if I've ever had honey roasted.
Honey roasted
Cashews.
peanuts are my jam though.
honey
Dude,
roasted
beer nuts and
cashews
honey
are
roasted
fire.
peanuts are fucking fire.
Yeah, like honey
I don't
roasted
think I
peanuts.
think walnuts are like
crack.
literally for me, walnuts are like give me a walnut and like a chocolate chip cookie. Like that's
I hate that.
That's like the
I
only
don't-
time.
I don't like it because my dad likes them in like cookies. He likes them in brownies and shit.
I like-
I don't
I
mind
fucking
them in
hate that.
brownies.
Dude. And I'm one of those guys where like I'm a huge fan of like banana nut muffins, but
Yeah.
I hate all the nuts in the muffin. So I'm the kind of guy if they're all like they sprinkle a bunch of them on top, I'll go like this and knock off the majority of the.
Oh,
fucking
really?
nuts
So you
on
really
it, 'cause,
just like banana muffins with like
yeah,
some
just give me
level of like
if you-
nut oil on them or something.
like if there was like
Just-
if there was just like a couple in there, I wouldn't mind. But they always just like there's always just too many in a banana nut muffin for me to really like. I just like this. You know what I
See,
mean?
if they're baked in, it all depends, right? If it's like one like that where they're dipped in, kind of like when they come out of the oven or some shit.
No, even because most of the time they're baked in too, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
See, I don't mind that because I find that then like the sugars and stuff from the muffin mixture kind of like attach themselves and almost like candy the walnuts a little bit for me.
I
Yeah,
just don't like
it
the flavor
softens
of
the
walnut.
walnut inside because like you guys have heard me say it all the time. Like I don't usually like nuts in my desserts.
Yeah.
But in like a banana nut muffin, I'm actually okay with like the walnut mixed into the banana bread type of
How about-
situation.
oh, like yeah, so banana bread with walnuts is okay.
Yeah,
too.
or like a banana nut muffin.
No.
Like I'm all right with that.
I'm okay with that, but no raisins. Fuck raisins.
Oh, see, I fucks with the raisins too. I
Well,
like
I'll
dried fruit.
I'd rather have raisins over walnuts, but
Me.
like
Definitely
but
not.
I don't. I
definitely
mean,
not.
the for me raisins like obviously it's not in banana bread. I've never had banana bread with raisins.
me
That'd be
either.
weird.
I don't either.
But like I like raisin bread. Like get a raisin cinnamon swirl bread, make toast with that. I do like that.
I used to like that as a kid, not so much anymore.
Or like a cinnamon raisin bagel with cream cheese. I do enjoy that.
I like an oatmeal raisin cookie. I don't mind.
I love an oatmeal raisin cookie. My wife despises them.
I never thought I would really like them because I'm not a huge, like oatmeal guy, but like in cookie form, I fuck with it.
See, like my wife will do oatmeal chocolate chip just fine, but oatmeal raisin, she's like that. I'll do like cranberry. You down with like
Great.
cranberry orange
Uh,
muffins?
I don't think I've ever.
I have to pass on that. I have to pass. Yeah, I have to pass on that.
Yeah, because like that's a thing. Because obviously we're a cranberry producing state around here.
Yeah, I've heard
that's a
of
pretty
cranberry
common
orange.
thing.
Like, obviously, it's not as common as cranberry lemon, but like I just would have assumed it's like cranberry citrus. You know, like so orange, lemon.
Yeah, just a little hint of orange zest in there, or whatever it
Yeah,
is to get
orange
that
muffins
citrus
are pretty
note.
good.
See, like I'm
You ever
not a
had
big
orange
fan of a lemon
muffins?
poppy seed.
Oh, just a straight lemon
Uh,
muffin I'll fuck with though.
I don't mind a lemon poppy seed. It's not like I'm not gonna go for it, but if it was like you came to, it's like the proverbial box of donuts. I like The Office. And let's just say there was a box of muffins at the office, and like let's say that you were down to like the lemon poppy seed, a cranberry lemon, a raisin bran. We'll even just leave it there. I'm gonna take the lemon poppy seed every time.
I'll probably take the lemon cran.
Yeah, I would just
Yeah,
leave
so
those
take the
both.
cranberry. Out of all those, the cranberry sounds fire to me.
I don't know.
I also
I'm a
like
sucker
dried
for a
fruit.
chocolate muffin too. You know what I mean?
I don't really
Where
like chocolate muffins that much personally.
that with a glass of milk, bro. Fire or
The
some
banana
coffee.
chocolate chip muffin.
Never had one of those.
That has been something that I dig a lot too, because like just you don't go ham on it, but just the banana muffin with instead of your nuts, just a sprinkling of
Dude, you
some
know what I
chocolate
want to
chips.
try to do, bro? Is I want to try to make some banana waffles.
Oh, dude, that probably wouldn't be that hard.
Oh,
You
hell
probably
yeah.
could do like a fucking bunch of them with one banana, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think I kind of want to look it up and see if I can because I'm sure all I would really have to do is just add a little bit of some fresh banana to like whatever batter I've got. And
Yeah,
I
you
think
just
you
mash
probably have
some
to like
banana in.
leave the banana out for like a day or two, get a little bit more brown on it, and
Oh,
then
I think we have like a couple bananas that are,
Overripe
Instant-
a
now.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
that's probably perfect. That's probably perfect. But
Just
I would probably only use one. And put maybe a touch less water than I
Either
normally
that or
would.
just use like a half of one because I probably will only make like a half batch.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I feel like you don't need that much to spread it out,
Yeah, I know I've had an actual banana pancake where it's literally just like some banana, a little bit of like flour and stuff, and you cook it like a pancake. It's awful. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
That
I'm
sounds
thinking
very
about just like
very
doing like a
unappetizing.
normal waffle, but just like adding
Yeah.
a little bit of some banana.
I
in
think
there to
that's
where
the
it's
right
like-
way to do it.
It's like it's waffle, but like you
There's just
cut in,
actual
there'll be
banana blended in.
yeah, there might be a little pocket of some banana in like every other bite sort of thing. You know what I mean?
I think you're onto it.
Almost
with
like a
that idea.
blueberry waffle, but like banana style. You know what I mean?
I want one.
Maybe put
Especially
a little
like
bit of some brown sugar in it.
like I told you, my
Oh,
boy
brown
did
sugar,
the
cinnamon?
deep fried
Mhm.
banana. So
Yeah.
like after
Ooh,
trying
maybe
that,
put a
let's
little
go.
touch of vanilla in there.
You guys ever had bananas Foster's?
No.
It's
It's
when
like
they set
caramelized banana pancake and like rum, like a bit
they
of
set it
rum.
on fire.
It sounds
Yeah,
good.
dude, they set it on fire, dude. It's pretty legit. It's
I've
pretty
never
legit.
had it,
I
but
had
I'm
at a
familiar with
resort
what it
before.
is.
Yeah, I had at a resort, and they like legit were like fucking the showman style shit, right? And they fucking lit it on fire, and it's just like fucking flames, and then you eat it, and it was really good.
Oh man. I imagine
fucking
like
really
because
good.
the caramelization of the fire plus you're burning off the alcohol, so the rum
Yeah.
flavors are just intensifying. Like
Yeah, no,
imagine
dude,
it's
it's
fire.
super good. It's super good.
Sounds
Uh,
tasty.
I really
Yeah.
wanted to like craft an e-liquid to vape just like it. I think I tried like when I first started e-liquid mixing, and I just never got anything close. I was like, this is fucking
You should
trash.
try to hit it again now that you've had
You know
more,
what? I might.
time.
I'm gonna have to like break it down, dude. I haven't had it in probably 15 years. I'm gonna have to like break
You're
it
gonna
down
have to
a
go
little
get
bit
one,
more.
dude.
Yeah, I'll have to find out where I can even get one. I guess I could make it myself.
True.
Mm.
This is
I'm
true.
like definitely
Chef it
capable.
up once, one time real quick,
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
banana
honestly thinking
Foster's.
about doing this fucking banana waffle thing like after this podcast, maybe.
Dude, if you had some chocolate chips, I'd just fucking drip a couple of them
I don't
in.
know. I'm not a big chocolate banana guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Nah.
Oh, I'm a big chocolate banana guy.
Nah.
Like in bakery stuff.
Yeah.
Not regular
not really.
stuff.
Not really. Not for me.
Banana and cinnamon is
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. I'm thinking like
Also-
little cinnamon brown sugar mixed in with a little
Oh,
bit of
that'd be
maybe a
good.
little dash of vanilla. You know what I'm saying?
A little dasherino.
Yeah.
Good old vanilla.
Just a little capful,
Uh, we've been on the lookout because there was like maybe a year ago we came across these banana muffins that had like a cinnamon streusel on top.
Ooh.
And yeah, like it was one of the greatest combos. And we were like, please bring this back. Haven't seen it since.
Either I'm gonna make this or I'm gonna try to find someone that makes something. No, I'm just gonna make it.
Just got to get in there and get it in ya.
Get on the old Google and see if I can find a little recipe I can work with, or maybe just try to do it on the fly. You know what I mean?
I'm about to try something new tonight, actually. So I ran an experiment a little while back. I wanted to do like a slightly more elevated version of a pigs in a blanket, right? So I used puff pastry and I wrapped kielbasa. Turned out fire. So I got to thinking this week, what if we did chili dogs like that? So like we get a good crisp and everything up on the dog. Then we wrap the hot dogs in the puff pastry, bake it so the puff pastry is baked up around it. And then when we plate it, you pour the chili on top. Then, hit it with your
You know what I was
cheese and
thinking
shit.
too, Sean? Breakfast ones with a little chorizo.
Oh, yeah. Or a linguiça, either or. Yeah.
I'm just a big fan of chorizo, bro. You know what I mean? That'd be fire.
You know what's weird? I've never actually been like the hugest fan of chili dogs.
Really?
Yeah, it's like definitely not like a big thing up here.
There's certain kinds I don't like. I only like specific kinds of chili dogs. It's got to be like a certain consistency of chili. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a guy that's like into a super like heavy, chili that may have like all the different fucking things in it. Like, maybe.
So do you like your chili thick or thinner or like what?
For
like
a chili
how far
dog,
from soup?
For a chili dog, I don't mind it being not necessarily soup, but like I like it to have a little just enough thickness where it's like almost kind of like a sauce with like your
Yeah, so like when you like kind of
is.
move the ladle across the hot dog, it's just like pours out as opposed to like
it should be
like,
sloppy Joe consistency.
Almost maybe a little runnier than
maybe
a sloppy,
maybe just a little wetter.
Okay.
Slightly wetter than a sloppy Joe. You know what I mean? But like I don't want one that's got like a fucking bunch of chunks of like maybe that has like beans and fucking chunks of tomatoes and all that other craziness on it. I want it just to be a
it should just be meat and spices.
Meat chili, bro, like that.
So just ground beef with chili seasoning.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, and like whatever seasoning you got in there.
Yeah, into like a nice slurry though, because you got to have that like sauciness to it,
where it's not too heavy chunked up, but it's got a nice blend of sauce.
And then if it was a chili cheese dog, what kind of cheese would you prefer on there?
I don't mind like maybe like a blend or like a Colby Jack on top's not bad, or maybe just a straight cheddar. You know what I mean?
So like not processed cheese.
No. Like it's something like freshly shredded, like whatever, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, like off a block or something.
Even a cheese sauce though is good. Like if you have a fucking nice cheese sauce you can pour on it, that's fine.
Yeah,
too.
As long as it's not like too heavy, you know what I mean? Like I don't want like too, but most of the time, like if the place that I prefer my chili dogs from, I don't know if they're everywhere across the US, but it's called Wiener Schnitzel.
The old Wiener Schnitzel.
They dropped the der. It's just Wiener Schnitzel now, but dude, their chili dogs, I just like them just chili dog bun, no cheese, bro. That's just, and their consistency is the perfect consistency for me, and I really like their chili, bro. Their chili's fire, in my opinion. Not only that, but if you get the all beef dog on a pretzel bun, bro.
Yeah, all beef dog is key.
With the chili?
Yeah, dude. All beef dog.
Next
chili,
level in it.
Because it's a bigger hot dog, but it's a nice all beef. It's got a little bit more of a snap to it. You know what I'm saying? And then you get the pretzel bun, bro.
Yep.
And then
That's
you
the
get a
thing, right?
chili cheese fry on the side, dude. Because then
Yo,
you get
James,
the,
chill.
you get your
You're making
fries.
banana waffles, bro.
Yeah, I know,
Don't get
but I
too
might
hyped
go
up
get this
about the hot
later.
dogs.
I might go get this later. And then you get a chili cheese fry, bro. Because dude, I honestly say their fries are probably like up there with McDonald's. Fight me, go try them and say they're not. If you get a fresh set of some Wiener Schnitzel French fries, they're pretty on par with, I would say, almost up there with McDonald's French fries. You know how everybody hypes up McDonald's French fries? I think Wiener Schnitzel's up there too. But you get those, they put their fucking chili on top and some fresh shredded cheddar cheese. Dude, it melts all up in the fucking box by the time you get it. So you go and fucking take a scoop and you get the nice stringy cheese with the fucking nice heaping amount of chili on top of some fry. Oh, the fries are salted perfect every time.
About it.
About that life.
See, it just makes me want to make nacho fries when I hear shit like that, though.
Nacho fries would be
You know what I mean? Just start laying all the layers up. Just, oh yeah,
with a nice little spicy nacho sauce on top.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Maybe it's some guac.
all
Dude,
of it.
now you're making me think of carne asada fries, bro.
Yo,
Nice Bettis of French fries, some freshly fucking grilled carne asada chopped up real nice with a nice layer of some guac or sour cream on top or whatever you like. A layer of some pico if that's what you're into. And me myself, I'm just go straight cheese and guac on top with the carne asada and the fries, bro. Not a big sour cream guy. And you could do definitely go with some cheese too, bro. Nice
See, like,
binding agent to kind of help stick the carne asada to the fry. You know what I mean? Helps it from falling off as you're taking a scoop.
hearing
you know
all of
what I'm
that,
saying?
I need to make it, and I think hearing that, I need to go make homemade lime crema.
There you go.
What
That
is that?
a little bit of crema wouldn't be bad.
know,
I'd definitely do that over a sour cream.
So crema is what is typically used in Mexico, where most Americanized Mexican will use sour cream. It's a lot
Okay,
lighter than
It's
actual
not as
sour
tangy.
cream. Yeah, not as tangy.
What's
But
not
then
as tangy?
The crema.
the regular crema.
Oh, okay.
If you want the tang, you
Because
would
you know how
add
sour
lime.
cream's got a little bit of tang to it.
Yeah.
That's called sour cream. That's the thing about it that I don't like is it kind of makes me feel like it because that taste and the smell kind of reminds me of like what milk smells like when it's going bad.
You're not
So
wrong.
like
It's kind
so
of
like
kind
when-
of how it gets there, really, right?
yeah. So like it reminds me of that so much that I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like if it ends up being in something and I don't necessarily notice it, it's cool. But like if it's like enough for me to like smell it or like notice that flavor, it kind of puts me off. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just do without it. But like the crema is not as tangy. It's more of like a kind of almost kind of cheesy sort of.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Maybe I don't know. But
It's
yeah, it just doesn't have that
nice.
same tang.
And like I said, if you want it tangy, that's when you add lime. And now you
Yeah,
have
but
lime
the
crema.
lime's a different tang.
Exactly.
It gives it more of a citrus tang,
And it's delicious.
and I like citrus.
So good. So
I'm hungry now.
yeah.
I am definitely thinking about like
Dude,
tacos and
I was hungry before, dude, because we were looking at Australian snacks before the podcast, and I still have the a window up. Do you know they have Skittles Giants? They're 3 times bigger than a normal Skittle.
Yep.
dude, that must be just like a tooth wrecker. Like,
But they
Can you
must
imagine,
be.
like, biting
Could you
into
imagine how
that?
delicious they are, though?
well, I mean, they'd be just as delicious as eating 3 at the same time with the same flavor, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but it's in one, dude.
No, I know. But I'd be worried about my teeth. Honestly, I'd just be worried
I feel
about
like
my
it'd be
teeth.
less coating too. Well, maybe not.
I would try it.
It'd definitely be more filling. I feel like.
Yeah, you open your bag, you get 7.
It's a pretty big bag. It's a 170 gram bag.
Man, yeah, the Australian snack scene blew my mind. We were hanging out with Breeze Tones and looking over this Australian snack site, and god damn, I said it before and I'll say it again. We are getting shafted on Cadbury products in America.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for you guys. I really
Oh
do.
my
Because we
God.
have tons of that stuff here. Like tons.
So many Cadbury products that I'm like, I wish I could
Dude.
just have them.
What's a zombie chew?
Turns you into a zombie. Tastes like
Yeah, I
meat.
actually have no idea.
But dude,
I never heard of it.
they have so many good like candies and cookies and just snacks, dude. I'm jealous. Their chocolate selection, bro, was like 7 pages of just deliciousness, dude.
And these were like 30 item pages. Like it wasn't like here's 10 items, next page. Like there's so many crazy things. And these are just Australian snacks. Like shout out to that retailer. I didn't ever
Yeah.
see though if they were like an American distributor or if they were shipping from Australia.
I'm trying to like find some info.
Because like if these people are importing Australian snacks and shit and then selling them at those prices, then that's entirely reasonable for once I have American shipping prices.
That's true. That's like what makes the biggest difference sometimes, right? It's like, oh, these prices aren't even that bad, and then you see the pricing of the shipping, you're like,
Well, that's it. Right?
oh, this is way more of a commitment than just like a quick little. Oh, I'll spend $30 on this shit. To like,
Yeah,
I'll
like-
spend $55 on this shit.
It's one thing to ask our friends in Australia, like, hey, can you buy me some snacks and ship them? But then, yeah, it's going to be an exorbitant shipping price. So it would be super cool if these guys are located in the US because they do like Australian gift packs with like different favorite snacks and stuff from Australia. So we could actually make sure that we've got like 3 of those and run one of those shows. Like just so many options.
I can't. I don't. Oh, here we go. About us. Let's see.
If I had to click.
Um.
Dude, just like, I wonder what there would be. So, just on the note of from Australia, right? I
I think
wonder.
they are Australian.
I wonder, like, do you guys think that you could get like a snack box from like South Africa or like,
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
yeah.
you know,
just
get
have
a
to
snack
find the
box
right.
from like every country, or not every country, every continent?
Yeah, you
Right.
just have to find a site that carry. Dude, there's sites out there that do it, bro. You just
That'd be
have to
fucking
find the right
cool.
one. I know.
A
Is
country
there
from a
any
different continent. We need.
headway on the mystery boxes there, Sean?
I just had to get a few more things lined up for pulling the money from Patreon, and we are going to be greenlit to go with that.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm stoked on that.
Dude, I'm stoked too. I'm not even sure because like the thing is, right, is like Sean's the only one that knows like what kind of selection of things. You know what I mean? Like where I would be like, oh, I don't know where to fucking look. Like Sean has like the idea. Like, I'm gonna fucking get a
Yeah.
sweet one, a fucking bad one, or whatever.
Well,
we just
so,
have
like,
to eat them all. Or...
Here's the thing, right? Like I'm trying to be realistic as I look at these places. Like I've been trying to vet a few different places. Excuse me. One of the ones I'm looking at, they actually have a physical brick and mortar location here in my state. So like I could physically visit them at some point, which I think is kind of cool. Other ones would ship from elsewhere. So that is what it is. But the thing I'm really looking at is the variety of selection, right? Like sometimes I'm looking at some of these people's selections and it's like a lot of the same things. It feels kind of repetitive and redundant. And I don't think it would be as interesting if it's like, here's this chip flavor, and this candy bar, and this candy bar. You know what I mean? So I'm just keeping my eye out for like the widest varieties I can find. Like the variety we saw on that Australian food site that's the variety I'm hoping to find on an international level, because that would be sick. Because now we could be like, all right, one from here, one from here.
What we might even need to do too is we probably just need to find it might be a little bit more of a bitch and more of a process, but like find ones that are more oriented towards specific, like find one that does like maybe pops or sodas, you know what I mean? That site does specifically international sodas, so they're going to probably have a pretty good wide selection of sodas because that's the one thing that they're focused on carrying instead of having like all the things, and then maybe finding one that just does snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be a better option.
That might be, because
You know what I
then
mean?
we
'Cause then
could
you'd have
cherry
it-
pick from a few different sources and build our own.
Exactly. It might end up being like two different little packages, but at that point, you know, we have a pretty wide selection to where if we wanted to, we could even, you know, maybe break some up. You know what I'm saying? But have a better, you know, selection. You know, like you said, we'll just have to. I'll even start doing a little, you know,
That's the thing,
Googling.
is like it's a category that has gotten really popular. So there's a lot of different retailers out there. But that is the other thing I see, is that it seems like there's very few distributors importing in, because a lot of them have the same things. So like your idea of finding ones that are a little more niche, that may actually be the answer. Like we said, we found this Australian one that has an incredible variety of options. And they'll ship to the US. So, yeah, super cool. Loving snacks, loving food. I'm excited to try cooking some new things. Now that the grill is set up and I've been, doing some grilling out there, I'm gassed. Like, I'm ready to go. All I want to do is fucking burn charcoal and cook meat right now.
Dude, that's the thing with the weather, right? The weather changing, and like you're like, oh man, you know, starting to feel more like I want to do shit outside, and then you're like, oh, I can fucking finally barbecue and not be cold.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Barbecuing, fucking love barbecuing, dude.
Yeah, we made those filet mignons for dinner on our anniversary, and like best steaks I've ever made in my life. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to start trying some all new shit. All new shit. Telling you, that sous vide technology, getting that technique in my wheel under my belt and everything, total game changer.
Yeah, dude. Now it's part of your wheelhouse.
I mean, like the
Cooking
whole
ways.
the whole notion, right? Like, put 2 steaks in a bag, set the circulator to 129 degrees, put bag with steaks in hot water, and walk away for 2 hours. In 2 hours, your steaks are perfectly done. Now all you're gonna do is put a sear on either side, and your steaks are ready to eat. So easy.
Like I'm down for that. I'd be down to try it. I just like I've never tried it before. You know what I mean?
It was incredible, because like the steak was the most tender thing I have ever eaten as far as steak is concerned. And then, I mean, once I got a good sear on my outside, so I had a nice, perfect sear. It was well seasoned, so I had plenty of salt and garlic powder and everything on it. It worked. The technique works. And the cool thing is that, like, from what I've been understanding from my research, you can't technically overcook with that technique. Once it hits the temperature that it needs to be, it's holding its internal temperature where it is. So like in red meat, if you're looking for medium rare, which is roughly 135 internal temperature, once it's at 135, it's holding there.
Oh, look, it doesn't let it go beyond that.
Right, because it's the water bath is being controlled. So very cool. Very cool. You can even, people have done things like for meal prep, you can cook your meal, freeze them in sous vide bags and then reheat them in the water bath.
Ah. See, like I'm all for like learning new ways to cook things, new ways to do things, because like who knows if I'm even doing it right, you know? Like or who well maybe I'm doing it right, but who knows if I'm doing it the right way for me? Like I'm doing a fine job, but who knows like how much better I could do it
Like
unless I tried different ways to do it.
simple example, right? Let's say you make a nice beef stew. You can get a vacuum sealer, fill up some vacuum bags with your stew, lay them flat, get them vacuum sealed, and then you can lay them flat and stack them inside the freezer. Now, whenever you're ready, you just pull one bag out, get your water bath going, throw it in there, let it boil for probably an hour, and boom, you've got hot, fresh stew ready to go. Like, such a good technique right there, just for like food use and saving food and preserving it. Because with the vacuum seal, you're gonna severely reduce your chances of freezer burn. Yeah, I'm a big fan of having a vacuum sealer now. I've had it for a while, but like actually using it for what it's for now is like, holy crap! This is why people love this. Food stays fresh when I store it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love it.
Full disclosure, I bought all this equipment to make weed butter. Years later, now I'm finally cooking with it like I'm supposed to.
Right.
Yeah, one of my next ones I want to do is I want to make chicken, because when you vacuum seal with your seasonings, it expands the meat, which of course allows the seasoning to penetrate more. So you can make it like a nice chicken marinade, get it all in there, whatever, cook it that way. Say you want to make fried chicken with it. Once you got it out, pat it dry, bread it, quick flash fry. Moist, juicy fried chicken. Can't lose the moisture and juices inside when it's stewing in its own juices in the bag.
I guess that's true. Excuse me, I guess that's true. It's like the same idea of like how you would baste the turkey, but you're just submersing the turkey in its own drippings.
Yeah, and
I
its
guess.
own rendering fat.
Yeah. Which is kind of what's up, actually.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the key to that cooking is that once it's been removed from the bag, you need to dry it and sear it so that way you get the outer crust that you want. Once you put an outer crust on your meat, it's going to be some of the best, most tender meat you've eaten. Do short ribs in that way. Throw the short ribs in the bag, let them run for like 24 hours, and you can make like short ribbed pulled beef sandwiches. Yeah, crazy. And it's so easy. Like, season your meat, throw it in a bag, vacuum seal it, throw it in the water bath, walk away until the time is up.
I'm all for this.
I've even seen the technique of take something like, let's say you want to do the short rib, right? Maybe you got a smoker, throw it in the smoker for a few hours just to get a good, nice smoke on it first. Then take the smoked meat, put that in the vacuum bag, and then run that in the water bath in the sous vide for, the 24 hours. That way you get that nice smoky pulled beef flavor. Yeah, big fan of sous vide. I'm excited that I'm exploring this world of cooking. And I'm definitely encouraging people, especially people who just want easy, because like that's easy. Like, what a great way to cook some things.
I could get behind that for sure.
So many
See, that's
cool
just one of
things.
those things. Like you're like, okay, yeah. I like all these different things. I want to try all these different things. You're just like giving me all these ideas of like how many new ways I can try to create a meal that I like as much or more than I already do.
Oh yeah.
Kind of perfect.
It's it's funny since I haven't had actual like TV, like Food Network and stuff. Now I just watch all sorts of cooking stuff on YouTube. And so like I'm learning from all these different like YouTube chefs, all these different techniques and ways to work with different equipment. And I'm like, wow. Okay, now let's put some of this to practice. And I start putting it to practice, and it's like, oh man, these guys know what they're talking about. These techniques are working. This shit's really fire. And who doesn't want to just, step the game up just a little bit more for themselves and their loved ones, right? I know
Dude,
I
I'm
definitely
down.
enjoy it. Like now that I've nailed steak like that, I'm so excited to just have some friends over and just be like acting like a sleeper. They have no idea that my steak game has just jumped to this level. And then like make some banging steaks and be like, oh, so by the way, I'm sorry I just ruined every restaurant steak you're gonna eat for the next 2 years. Because like quite literally, that's how I felt about eating that filet mignon. Like I ate that and I was like, there isn't a restaurant I've ever been to that has handed me a steak this good.
It's believable too, right?
100%. Like it still blew my mind the fact that like I had just eaten filet mignon at like a high end restaurant and I thought that the one I made was better. I was like, I've learned. I have learned.
Dude, it's the skills.
That's it. Like I've learned a lot and I am excited to just keep pushing it further and further and further. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be abandoning my goals in life and become a chef. Yeah, no, let's not do that. I'm not even gonna joke about that. I like cooking too much to make that my life.
Yeah, fair. After like what you were just like mentioning the other night.
Yep.
But how you like have had two hobbies turn into careers and you just don't vibe that hard. So yeah, you becoming a chef would be horrible for you.
Yeah, no, can't do it. And yeah, with that all on the plate.
Sorry, I've just been sitting here still scoping out these snacks, dude. There's so many good snacks on this fucking site.
Well, good thing it's just
and I
about
got
to
the munchies so hard.
It's a good thing that it's about to be snack time then, because it's time for us to bring it to a close. Gina is looking at me like, you know what time it is. And I do. I see the clock, so I'm on it. So with all of that, I want to give a big shout out to all of our patrons for all of the support. You guys really are the very best. And we couldn't do it without y'all. And with that, I'm gonna throw it on over to Uncle Chris.
Well, I'm just gonna say thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys a lot. After just like talking about these snack boxes again, and I know we talked about them before, and that's how the original idea kind of came to fruition. But I gotta say, I'm kind of looking forward to whenever those things happen. Hopefully, you guys are too. And of course, shout out to all of our patrons for kind of making these things happen for us. It's awesome. Appreciate you guys. So if you guys want, you can obviously check out our Patreon through shedtimepodcast.com. You can listen to the podcast there. You can just go check it out. Just like do some clicking around, do some reading, do some listening. Just check it out. As for myself, you guys can catch me on Tuesday nights on KVTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. Just any liquid mixing show. It's just it's a hobby, and it's something that I just have a lot of passion for mixing. It's a way that I can kind of use some of my creativity in a way that I don't know, I still really enjoy doing it. So feel free to do that. Of course, you can check out the three of us on Friday nights on Frame Nickel Vapors YouTube channel for the Green Room, and we're just always just kicking it there too. A little bit, less on some of the topics that we speak about on the show, but it's generally the same vibe. So come by, check that out. And I think that's everything for me. So everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life. Franks, take it away.
As always, I'm going to say shout outs to all the Shedheads for all you guys' continuous support. Make sure you guys give us those 5-star reviews. If you guys are liking what you're hearing on all the various podcasting platforms, make sure you go check out the Patreon if you want to, get access to maybe the Discord or, the video aspect of the podcast. If you guys maybe want to see what we're showing off throughout the episode. Of course, you want to get a little double dose of us. You can check us out on Fridays over on my YouTube channel. Like Sean said earlier, we had an epic game night with the Friday Fallout boys. We got some build-offs that we do from time to time, ShedHead sessions where you guys have an opportunity to come hang out with us on the show and play some games and, just spread some positive vibes as we do on a Friday. And with that, we'll be back in the shed next week with a new episode for you guys. So on the end, as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives. Don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little bag or dab will do ya, Sean.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. One more time to everybody out there who's been listening to us. We really do appreciate all of y'all. It does mean the very most to us all. So with all of that, guys, I'll bring it to a close like I do every show and remind you, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun. This is the Shedtime Podcast, and it's time to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Oh, that guava jelly.
Hell yeah.
Come on, there's my cursor.